Fenn was a red fox. He had fur the color of a sunset. His tail was long and fluffy, with a tip as white as a cloud. Fenn lived in the forest of whispering leaves. The trees in this forest were very old and very tall. Their leaves rustled all day long, telling stories to the wind. Sunlight would peek through the branches. It made dancing spots of light on the soft, mossy ground. Fenn loved his home. It was a warm and beautiful place to live. He had many friends who lived there with him. Every morning, Fenn would wake up and stretch his long legs. He would tiptoe out of his cozy den, which was hidden under the roots of a great oak tree. He liked to say good morning to everyone. He would say hello to Barnaby the badger, who was usually busy digging. He would wave his white-tipped tail at Squeaky the squirrel, who was always collecting nuts. Fenn and his friends would play games all day long. They played hide-and-seek among the ferns and chased butterflies in the sunny meadows. The forest was full of laughter. Fenn was a very clever fox. He knew all the secret paths in the woods. He knew where the sweetest berries grew and where the clearest water flowed. His friends often came to him for advice. "Fenn," Barnaby would ask, "where can I find the softest moss for my bed?" Fenn would think for a moment. Then he would lead Barnaby to a perfect green patch of moss. He was a good friend to everyone. He always shared what he knew and what he found. The forest was a happy place because Fenn was there. One sunny afternoon, Fenn decided to take a walk by himself. He wanted to go somewhere he had not been before. He followed a little stream that gurgled and bubbled over smooth grey stones. The water was cool and clear. Little fish darted back and forth like tiny silver arrows. The air smelled sweet like damp earth and wildflowers. Fenn felt very peaceful. He trotted along the bank of the stream, his paws making soft prints in the mud. He did not know that his walk was about to change everything. Fenn followed the little stream until it joined a big, wide river. The river moved slowly and grandly. It shimmered under the bright afternoon sun. Fenn sat down on the riverbank to rest. He watched the water flow by. Something caught his eye. It was a tiny sparkle right at the edge of the water. It shone brighter than a star. Fenn was very curious. He crept closer to the water to get a better look. What could be so shiny? He had never seen anything like it in the whole forest. He dipped his paw into the cool water. He carefully nudged the shiny thing. It was a pebble, but it was not just any pebble. It was perfectly smooth and round, as if it had been polished for 100 years by the river. It was the color of a rainbow with swirls of blue, green and gold. When the sun touched it, the pebble glowed with a warm, gentle light. Fenn picked it up in his mouth. It felt cool and special. He thought it was the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen. This was his treasure. Fenn carried the pebble back to his den. He did not stop to talk to anyone. He did not wave to Squeaky or call out to Barnaby. He hurried past his friends, holding the pebble tightly in his mouth. He went straight into his den under the oak tree. He found the darkest, most secret corner. He gently placed the pebble on a bed of soft leaves. He sat and looked at it for a long, long time. The pebble seemed to glow just for him. He felt very rich and very important. From that day on, Fenn was different. He did not want to play hide and seek anymore. He did not want to chase butterflies. All he wanted to do was look at his pebble. He spent all day, every day, inside his den. He would polish the pebble with his soft tail until it shone. He would whisper to it and tell it how beautiful it was. He thought about his pebble when he woke up. He dreamed about his pebble when he slept. He forgot all about the sunny meadows and his wonderful friends. Summer turned into autumn. The leaves in the forest turned from green to bright shades of red, orange and gold. The air grew crisp and cool. Squeaky the squirrel was very busy gathering acorns for the winter. Barnaby the badger was making his burrow extra cozy. They sometimes went to Fenn's den. "Fenn, do you want to come and jump in the leaf piles with us?" Squeaky would call. But Fenn would only peek his nose out. "No, thank you," he would say. "I'm very busy." Then he would go back inside to stare at his pebble. Winter arrived. The forest became quiet and white. Snow fell like a soft blanket over everything. The trees were bare, their branches covered in ice. It was very cold outside. Fenn's friends huddled together in their warm homes. They missed Fenn. They wondered why he did not come out to play in the snow like he used to. Fenn did not even notice the snow. His den was dark and lonely, but he did not care. He had his pebble. Its gentle glow was his only light and his only friend. Spring came at last. The snow melted and the river began to swell with water. Tiny green buds appeared on the trees. The birds returned, filling the forest with their happy songs. But Fenn did not hear them. He had grown thin. His beautiful red coat was not as shiny as it used to be. He was too busy guarding his treasure to eat properly or to run in the fresh spring air. His world had become very small. It was just him and the Pebble, alone in the dark, quiet den. His friends were worried. They had not seen him for a very long time. Barnaby went to his den one morning. "Fenn, are you all right?" he asked in his deep, gentle voice. "Please come out, the sun is shining." Fenn heard him, but he did not answer. He pulled his Pebble closer. He was afraid. He thought his friends wanted to take his treasure away from him. He did not understand that they only wanted their friend back. His heart felt as hard and as cold as the stone he loved so much. One night, a great storm came to the forest. Rain fell harder than anyone had ever seen before. Thunder rumbled, and lightning flashed across the sky. The wide river grew bigger and bigger. It overflowed its banks. Water rushed through the forest, carrying away sticks and leaves. The floodwaters reached the great oak tree. Water poured into Fenn's den. Fenn was scared. He grabbed his Pebble and tried to climb to higher ground, but the water was too strong. A big wave crashed into his den and washed everything away. When the morning came, the storm was over. The sun shone again. The water slowly went down. Fenn was wet and cold and all alone on a muddy hill. His den was gone, and his beautiful shiny Pebble was gone too. It had been washed away by the flood, lost forever in the big wide river. Fenn looked around. He had nothing. He had no den. He had no treasure. He felt a great sadness fill his heart. He was more lonely than he had ever been in his entire life. Slowly, Fenn walked back toward the forest. He felt very small and very lost. He thought his friends would be angry with him. He had ignored them for so long. As he came to the edge of the trees, he saw them. Barnaby and Squeaky were there. When they saw Fenn, they did not look angry. Their faces lit up with joy. "Fenn, you are safe," they cried. They ran to him and gave him the biggest, warmest hug. They did not ask about his den or his treasure. They were just happy to see their friend. Fenn's heart started to feel warm again. His friends led him to a dry, cozy spot. They shared their nuts and berries with him. They told him they would help him build a new den. Fenn looked at his friends' happy, caring faces. He understood everything now. The shiny Pebble had been beautiful, but it had made him lonely. His friends were the real treasure. Their warmth and their kindness shone brighter than any Pebble. Fenn smiled, a real smile for the first time in a very long time. True treasure isn't what you keep, it's what you share.